Hello and welcome to Money Markets and More with me, Dominic Frisby, and today I'm talking to you from Quito in Ecuador, and there is a fantastic view of Quito in the background. I'm at the house at the moment of an artist called Osvaldo Guayasamín. That's his house in the background. It's now a museum. He's a long since passed away artist, and it's such a splendid spot that I thought I should quickly do a video for you. And so today's piece is dug up from the archives of my blogs, and it's called "The Way We Help People Does Not Help People." And the highest form of charity, argued the 12th century Jewish philosopher Maimonides, is when the help given enables the receiver to become self-sufficient. But our systems of state charity, welfare, have too frequently had the opposite effect. They've actually created dependency. And I say it's time to rethink the way we help people. And I suggest something that may be heinous to some, but it's this: welfare would be more effective, more varied, more widespread, and more affordable if there were no state involvement. People instinctively think that without a welfare state, the poor and needy would not be looked after. And at such an unacceptable prospect, people then become fervent in their defence of state welfare systems. And you can see the passion people feel about this erupting all over the internet, Twitter, the blogosphere, Facebook. Before we start, I wanted to get your head around one thing. Suggesting that the welfare system is not working and that we should do away with it is not the same as suggesting that the poor and needy should not be looked after. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The provision of care is a delicate, complicated and unpredictable process. Sometimes money might help the recipient towards self-sufficiency, but sometimes not. Giving money might lead to a temporary lessening of suffering, but often it can lead to greater dependency and less self-reliance. Sometimes something local is required, sometimes something practical, sometimes something psychological or emotional, sometimes something specific to the individual's circumstances. Sometimes what's needed is a proverbial kick up the backside. Different circumstances require different forms of care. And the dignity of the recipient also needs to be considered. It can be demeaning to receive charity. On occasion, anonymity might be required, but on other occasions, it might not be. So how on earth can anyone hope to design a top-down, one-size-fits-all system of state welfare that can meet all these varying needs consistently over time? And then there's the matter of the giver. He or she must also be considered. Compassion, care, and the giving of charity are essential human functions. They're part of human nature. People need to give as much as they need to receive. And you just need to see the pleasure children get from giving as evidence of this. And even perhaps the most ruthless, murderous drug trafficker that ever drew breath, Pablo Escobar, was a prolific giver. He built churches, schools, houses in his native city of Medellin. They were unmatched. They were on a scale unmatched by the Colombian government. And in the charitable process, the giver too has needs. Sometimes the giver wants to be anonymous. Sometimes they want recognition. Sometimes he or she likes to be involved with the recipient in some way. Sometimes not. But in the process of state care, the giver's needs are not even considered. Taxes are taken, and that is it. We're given no real say in how the money we've earned is spent, bar a vote of dubious effect every 5 years. Often, the giver is morally opposed to what his taxes are being spent on. And the forced giving that is taxation actually destroys the altruistic satisfaction that people get from giving voluntarily. To help others and to share with them is part of humanity. But in a world in which government is responsible for the care of the poor and the needy, that compassion is removed from life. And as a result, the state now has a near monopoly on compassion. In fact, it's even more bizarrely specific than that. The pro-large welfare state left wing has the monopoly on compassion, and anyone who doesn't agree with the concept of a large, generous welfare state is deemed heartless and selfish. While you have to pay the government through tax to provide welfare or healthcare or education, your ability to provide any of these things for yourself or your family is reduced because you have less money. After taxes are taken from you, you often can't afford then to pay for your children or your family's school, their doctor, your hospital, your home, your charity to others. And so you find yourself depending on state help in some way. And so more and more people, in some way or other, are caught in the ever-growing dependency net. And what's more, if the state is providing care to the needy, then you are absolved of the responsibility to do so. Meanwhile, government welfare, as well as being inflexible, is expensive. The large organisations such as the NHS or the DWP through which care is administered can be inefficient, and wasteful. And worse yet, they're prone to corruption and rent-seeking, which is people gaming the system in some way. Now, if you look at food, clothing, technology, these are all essential human needs that largely are not supplied by the state. And we have, over the last 30 or 40 years, seen dramatic falls in price and dramatic improvement in quality. Competition has driven costs lower. Yet welfare hasn't experienced the same improvements. Why not? Because thanks to the state's near monopoly, there is no competition, and the idea of competition in welfare is offensive to many, but we need it if we are to improve quality and lower costs. The greatest expense in our lives is not, as many believe, your house or your children's education. It is, in fact, your government. But imagine a world with minimal state. Suddenly that expense is removed. Without the cost of the state, we have more capital to spend and invest ourselves. People are empowered. Our ability to help others is increased. In a world with no state, what's more, suddenly our responsibility to help others is also increased. If the state is not helping people, you must. And simultaneously, thanks to competition, the help we want to offer others is better and cheaper. Organisations are competing with each other to offer better help at a lower price. And the result will be more affordable welfare, more widespread and diverse welfare, more flexible welfare that can provide for specific needs, more effective welfare, more onus to provide welfare, ultimately better welfare. So without a welfare state, the poor and needy won't be looked after, you say. I suggest that they will be, to a much higher standard than they are today. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back with another video very soon. Please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my Substack. Enjoy this incredible view of Quito in Ecuador, this odd city, the only city I've ever been to where you seem to manage to be hot and cold at the same time. And look forward to another video where I'll post next on my travels. And if you're in and around London on November the 24th wearing my comedy hat, I'm doing a gig with the Gilets Jaunes, that's my band, at Crazy Coqs in Piccadilly Circus, that's underneath Brasserie Zedel. It's a fantastic venue for my kind of musical comedy. It's going to be a great night, so please come on down. But in the meantime, cheerio.